Stacey Grimshaw, welcome to A Current Affair. Olivia Newton-John is one of Australia's most loved entertainers, but Olivia's trusted name has been used without her knowledge in an international con, fleecing Aussies of thousands of dollars. What the scammers didn't count on is their target setting up a sting of his own, exposing a criminal syndicate using Melbourne grandmothers as money mules. Here's Dan Nolan's special investigation.
She would text me in the morning, at lunch, at night. These people are very clever. There is no doubt about it.
Poor Olivia Newton-John, this is hardly the type of thing she needs at the moment.
Somebody's taking it from me, without getting punished. Justice has to be done.
I don't know about scam.
Nino Martinetti is an award-winning cinematographer who spent a lifetime hanging out with movie stars. There's his name in the opening credits of The Heartbreak Kid, with a baby-faced Alex Dimitriadis and Claudia Carvin. He filmed the movie Molokai, starring David Wenham, Sam Neill and even Lawrence of Arabia himself, Peter O'Toole. His photo library is a who's who of stars: Ray Liotta, Rebecca Gibney, Jack Thompson and Olivia Newton-John.
I met Olivia and it was like working with any other actor, my job is the same. I have to make it look good, which I did.
The movie was called The Wild Girls. Olivia starred in it with daughter Chloe, and if you look past the Mandarin subtitles, you can see Nino's name up in lights.
I got a nice picture with her, and that's what started this whole saga, that picture.
Nino splits his time between Australia and Italy, but when COVID-19 restrictions kicked in, he found himself stranded at his friend Vince's house on the Gold Coast. Feeling bored, isolated and a little nostalgic, he posted that picture to an Olivia Newton-John fan page on Facebook. Soon after, someone called Dame Olivia came sliding into his messages.
Hello. Thanks for the love and support.
How did you feel when Dame Olivia contacted you?
Oh, I almost fainted. I've been looking at this picture, I've been thinking about her, and here she comes into my life. I couldn't believe it.
She asks how long he'd been a fan and which songs are his favourite, but Nino was so blinded by his old friend contacting him that he didn't spot anything amiss.
I think it was a moment of weakness, emotionally I was weak, and that's how they got me.
Once they had him hooked, the messages turned into a landslide, morning, noon and night.
We're going, well, this texting is really intense. I don't know if I could keep up that level, right, of energy texting during the day, but he kept doing it.
Dame Olivia had given Nino strict instructions to keep their relationship a secret, meaning his friend Vince had no idea who the mystery woman was.
He would say things like, oh, look, I've met the love of my life, or something like that. And we go, wow, this is fantastic.
She started with, oh, you're so handsome, okay. A lot of women told me that I'm handsome, so I believe her. You know what I mean?
So that wasn't an unusual compliment for you to hear?
Yeah, that's right. I don't want to sound immodest, but honestly,
Nino thought he was starring in a real-life love story and fell hook, line and sinker for his dame's web of deceit, including lies that she was now divorced and lonely.
Since the time we started chatting, I cry a little less, laugh a little harder, and smile all the more just because I have you.
So I started to feel sorry for her, I thought, oh, poor Olivia, she doesn't deserve all this. She's such a beautiful human being.
But then came the scam. Dame Olivia asked Nino to switch all communications to an app called Telegram and said if he wanted to meet up, he had to pay a fee to her management to cover the cost of hotels and security.
If you want to have a coffee with Olivia, it costs $2,000. If you want to go to a restaurant, it costs $5,000. And I thought, God, this is weird, But I said, that must be the way how she raised money,
As weird as this request seemed, Nino didn't want to offend one of his favourite celebrities he's ever worked with.
I was still thinking that I didn't want to be disrespectful to her, and say, okay, piss off, I don't want to Can you say piss off to Olivia Newton-John? I don't think so,
You know, if you work in the business and you've worked with a celebrity and they start chatting to you on Facebook, I guess you would assume that maybe it's that person.
Film and TV critic Andrew Mercado says fans who trawl their favourite celebrities' Facebook pages can be particularly vulnerable to this kind of scam.
If they think the celebrity is personally chatting to them, they want to believe it, and so that makes them real victims.
Nino arranged his meeting through Dame Olivia's management and now had to pay $6,000 for the privilege. Management advised by email to transfer it to a Westpac bank account in Melbourne in the name of Mary Busuttil.
So the management wants another $4,500,
The requests were in US dollars, so Nino ended up transferring another $7,000, this time to a CommBank account in Melbourne in the name of Thelma Fiasco. All up, he transferred $13,000, but the meeting with Olivia never came through. Nino finally told his friend Vince who the mystery woman was.
We went, what? She's texting you? Normally people of that calibre, they pull up at the front in their limousine.
At that point, I had to keep this going, because I'm starting to get really annoyed now. I'm a very revengeful person. Like, if somebody does something, I do 10 times more.
So Nino decided to set up a sting of his own, convincing the management he wanted to send more money, but this time he demanded an Australian address to have it delivered to. They provided one for a Mary Busuttil in Craigieburn, Melbourne.
It's a pity that we can't fly, otherwise I would fly to Melbourne and wait in that street and wait for the cops to see them, cuff them. I've been in Melbourne for 25 years. I could make those people disappear if I want to, really.
But Nino wanted an arrest, not a mafia hit, so he printed out the 600 pages of messages exchanged with the scammers and visited a Gold Coast police station.
What happened when you took your evidence to the police?
Nothing. I thought they were going to pat me on the back and say, gee, you've done some good work, you found the people, you found the house.
So now you're left with no option but to do a sting of your own.
Somebody's got to do something about it. I'm not some guy that just watch and do nothing,
The scammers gave him strict instructions with how to wrap the cash being delivered.
Make sure you put the money in 3 envelopes, then you wrap it with a different cloth, like 3 cloths.
With the police seemingly not interested in his case, Nino asked us to carry out his operation.
So Nino, your sting is set now.
Yeah, well, it looks like, and I hope it works.
When this package arrives, it's going to be more than some cloths wrapped around some envelopes. It's going to be a current affair there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Friday 9 a.m. and the parcel is delivered to what looks like an average suburban home. Within 3 minutes, a woman emerges from inside to collect it. And then, our camera crew pounces.
Just wondering, do you know what's in that package?
No.
A current affair producer, Luke Mortimer, is now tasked with unravelling how Nino was scammed.
Sorry, you're Mary?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know anything about Olivia Newton-John?
No. I know why she's a singer.
Do you know a name, Nino Martinetti?
No.
But the bank transfers with her own name on it start to jog her memory.
So you do know Nino Martinetti?
I do know Nino.
How do you know him?
Online.
It appears Mary might know a little more than she's letting on.
Why did Nino transfer you the money?
This is a big thing. I'm speaking to someone online.
Yeah.
And he told me I need to send the money. Oh my God.
The person Mary has been talking to online calls himself Sergeant Major Samuel Spencer from the US Army, a stolen identity of a real soldier who has wooed her with his romantic prose.
Loving you gives me such a feeling of fulfillment that I feel close to heaven. And that's why I feel this huge emptiness when you are far away.
He told me that if he has enough of the money, then he'll have enough for him to come and see me, and I love you and I'm going to marry you. Jesus Christ.
It turns out this 63-year-old grandmother has been getting scammed for years, transferring large sums of her own money, but with his promised visit never eventuating.
Mary is probably the most naive person I've ever met.
Mary now works as a nanny for Tara Sparrow.
I have tried to educate her about the online scammers, but she's just desperate for love and companionship, I think.
And that's why she didn't bat an eyelid when Samuel issued some strange instructions for Nino's money.
And where did you transfer that?
On Bitcoin.
Sorry?
I put them in Bitcoins.
You put them in Bitcoins?
Yes.
That's right, this Melbourne grandma was turned into a money mule, tricked into withdrawing cash and taking it to a Bitcoin ATM inside a Kensington bottle shop. Despite the scam warnings on the screen, Mary perched up next to the Pinot Noir and punched Nino's money into an online oblivion.
I put 4,000, 2,000, 1,000. You can put as much as you like.
Nino's money is gone and Mary's deeply apologetic.
I am so sorry, Nino. I didn't know.
But even she is baffled as to how Nino got tangled up in this.
So what did he think he was doing with Olivia Newton-John?
The Dame Olivia scammers did make one mistake though, accidentally switching their fake Facebook profile to their real picture. A man called Fidelis Elechi, a common Nigerian name with a dazzling pair of shoes. Meanwhile, the real Olivia Newton-John continues her brave fight with cancer for the third time, oblivious to the entire drama.
I think it's disgusting. I feel really sorry for her. The people that prey on other people based on trust and their feelings, to me, they are the worst scam in the world, you know.
Oh, that's so sad. And we can tell you more innocent money mules have been uncovered in this scam. Both Nino and Mary have now filed reports with Victorian and Queensland Police, who've begun an investigation as a result of our story. We'll let you know what happens. With restrictions easing, we've begun heading back to work and back to school. But how does the commute and daily drop-off work with social distancing? We sent Steve Marshall with his trusty tape measure to find out.
Two months ago, we put the 1.5 metre social distancing rule to the test. Now, with restrictions lifting, we're taking the tape measure out for another spin to see how we fare on what's tipped to be the busiest day of the post-COVID lockdown era.